Every married couple listening, they're going to have an experience or a moment in their life where, all the little faults and grievances and irritabilities, all that fades away, and you realize I'm going to lose my spouse. Mm-hmm. And you love them, and then you get them home from the hospital, and you just go right back to it. Mm-hmm. And so, one of my favorite scriptures is in Romans chapter 7, and the Apostle Paul says, "The good I want to do, I do not do, and that which I do not do, I find myself doing." Mm-hmm. And this is the guy that wrote the Bible. Yeah. And I think, again, that's where we have to come back to Jesus, who's the only one. He's the author and perfecter of our faith. He's the only one that remained true to the end. Mm-hmm. And we all struggle. And, I think that a lot of people, I wish I had a testimony like Brian's. I wish that the Lord, heard me in that way. Mm-hmm. But, Jesus says a wicked and perverse generation seeks a sign. Mm-hmm. The Lord gave you a sign, and I'm not calling you wicked or perverse, even though maybe you were. Oh, yeah. But I think a lot of us, and a lot of your friends that are listening, they don't get God. I don't think God's real. Mm-hmm. It's made up. Hey, if it worked for Brian, whatever. Yeah. But the truth is, the lull of the world, the Bible says that Satan, the God of this age, has blinded people. So we are blinded by Satan, and we can't see the truth of God, and we're constantly just pulled back into this darkness. And so I want to talk about that, but I want to go back to, why do you think Jesus saved you? Because he doesn't owe you anything.
And I think about that. I think about what, if it would have went the other way, and I think, Nate Adams is a guy I ride dirt bikes with. He was one of the first Christian freestyle motocross guys that jumped in the scene, that really stood for his faith. And the best way, when he said something that really stuck to me, and he said, God has unfinished business with Brian. Yeah. Like there's unfinished business. And I think that's why. I think it was because, God said, okay, there's man crying out to be saved, for many, more than one way, and I was granted that, and maybe that was that believed that I was really gonna do it. Yeah. It really was not taught. It wasn't, like it was me being like, it was real talk, like going, okay, he's truly is asking for help to truly change, and my life was on the line. I think about that. I think of if I would have died, would I have gone to heaven? Would I have not? A lot of people are like, well, is God real? Is it not? I pray, I don't hear anything. But I always say, well, and a lot of people are like, well, maybe I'll just pray before I die. But no one knows, right? No one knows. Like, I didn't know I was going to do that. Like, I didn't know that was going to be my last day or possibly. So I always say, what if it is not real? Okay, you die and it's done, blackout, boom, it's over, right? That's what you believe. Okay, well, what if it is real? Okay, so if it is real, then you go to judgment and you go to a place called hell, and it's weeping and gnashing of teeth. I know that. I know what gnashing of teeth is because I did that. On the way to the hospital, I was grinding my teeth. So literally my teeth were breaking and my tongue was bleeding. Like, I know that pain. Imagine that's the rest of your eternity. That's what's hit me the hardest. Like, thinking about when I think back to that moment when you ask, why? And I think of weeping and gnashing of teeth. And I think of like, man, if that is real, oh man, like you don't even know what you're in store for. But if it's not real, okay, I lived a Christian life. I was a good person. A lot of people are like, well, I'm a good person anyway. But that's not what the Bible says is going to get you to heaven, right? I mean, I just, like, a lot of people ask me that. Well, I'm a good person. Why I should go to heaven, right? Yeah. I mean, a lot of people ask that. Why don't I hear my prayers? I don't know if God's real or not, but I'm a good person. Why does it take religion for me to be a good person? Like, I get those questions a lot,
Well, part of it is because, and I think you had some questions for me, just from, the people that follow you, but part of it is the way we've changed the word good. So if you go into, like Oxford Dictionary, a dictionary of 100 years ago, the word good has changed its meaning over time. So what good used to mean is morally perfect. So Jesus is called good. And Jesus says, why do you call me good? Only God the Father is good. So good in its original sense means moral perfection. But we don't use it that way anymore. So the way we use it, when your friends are saying, I'm a good person, what they're really saying is, I'm not that bad.